All right, Pisces, let's get into a reading. So we're going to see what's coming out for you today, okay? Let's see what's coming out for you guys. If you need anything, check out that comment section. Everything I have to offer is down there. If I use my oracle cards in this reading, you can find them down below in the comment section on Amazon, Etsy, or eBay. So I'm seeing here that you could have recently taken action in your life to get you some sort of fairness or justice around a lesson. So there could have been a lesson that you learned the hard way, whether this was a person, a place, a thing, a scenario. I'm definitely seeing, though, that you had to make the choice to either say enough is enough or say, okay, I've learned plenty. I've learned my lesson, babes. So I'm seeing that energy here. Now, I don't know what this has to do with this reading. Let me see why this is being brought up. Okay. Okay. So I'm saying that the reason this is being brought up is because there's actually a conversation being had around whatever this is. So there's a conversation being brought up around the fact that you maybe got yourself into something when you didn't know what it was. So have any of you ever dealt with a family member, maybe like a child, and everyone can see this scenario? And maybe all of you are sitting around a fire pit late at night or around the Sunday brunch table. And there's like a discussion around the fact that your cousin Troy is making bad choices and is maybe falling in love with someone who isn't good for him. And, you know, maybe you guys have told him, but it's a little bit of like, sometimes we have to learn the lesson the hard way. I'm saying that, but I'm saying that it has to do with you. I'm saying that there could be a conversation being had around a choice that you have made or the lack thereof, and around the fact that sometimes in life we want to see the best in certain circumstances and even certain people when maybe there is not good to be seen. And I'm saying that there could be a discussion here around the fact that you could have maybe set yourself up for failure or lied to yourself when it comes to something where you had a lot of passion and desire. But maybe, just maybe, that person or that circumstance was not what you wanted it to be. So this could be something as simple as, I'm going to show my family that I'm right and they're wrong. I'm going to move. I'm going to become something. You do you, baby. You do it big. But this could also be these people recognizing that maybe there was something inside of you that needed to be balanced, and you could end up having to come back home and say, okay, I didn't make it big. I mean, I made it further than you guys thought I would, but you were right. Maybe I didn't understand it from all levels. And that's kind of what I'm saying here, okay? So I do feel like people could be talking about you, your choices, your decisions, things that you've learned. I feel a strong significance of either family or friends, okay? Give me a little bit more around the conversation and your name being brought up. Okay, so we just took a positive shift. That's very interesting. So the energy that I had just brought in was actually really negative. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Some of you could have dealt with a circumstance or a person where you were promised the world and you were given everything but. So what do I mean by that? This could be something as simple as, let's say you took a job and you started working for someone who had money. Maybe they had a certain status. And maybe you were, I don't know, a nanny or their personal assistant, and your family and friends could have recognized that you were being taken advantage of. You know, yeah, you got paid pretty well, but let's be honest, you were working 24 hours all the time. If that person called in the middle of the night, you were running, you were jumping. These could be the same family members who were talking about you and were saying, you know, this isn't going to be long lasting. This isn't what so-and-so thinks that it is. This is going to blow up in their face. We support them. We love them. We hope that this works out for them. But let's be honest, let's be real. We've all seen this. That kind of energy was coming in. And I'm saying that this group could have been talking about the fact that you were kind of like being taken advantage of, that you, again, wanted to see the best in a circumstance or situation, but it wasn't going to work out in your favor. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say people felt bad for you, but it's like people were able to see that you either loved someone who didn't love you, or you were giving like a corporation and a career everything and you were losing everything because of it. But what I'm saying is that there could have been a choice here that you made that brought a shift in your life, okay? Now, this shift could be happening now. And what I'm saying is that the conversation around your name now could be that you have really become a fighter, and that you've overcome battles that they thought you were going to stay stuck in, or that you would have continued to deal with. So again, this could be a relationship. This could be family members saying, you know, he or she's never going to lose so-and-so. They're so naive. They're so dumb. They believe the best in so-and-so. These could be the same family members or friends that are recognizing that there's a different version of you emerging, and battles they once thought you were going to stay stuck in forever, you're not staying stuck in. And these people, I feel, could even be proud of you. Let's say that these are enemies who were kind of glad that you were stuck. You know, these could be your enemies who were kind of glad that you were getting your feelings hurt. But these could also be the same enemies who were like, damn, I'm proud of you. I underestimated you. I didn't think you were going to make it out of that. These could even be, you know, maybe this is an ex, and their ex was hoping, oh, well, I hope they put you through hell. They left me for you. I hope they put you through hell. This could be their same ex that now looks at you and goes, whoa, I actually feel really bad for you. They put you through hell, but you overcome that battle. Maybe you even learned the lesson quicker than their ex did. Something like that could also be taking place here. But I'm seeing a conversation around you taking some sort of action and overcoming battles that were once perceived as knee breakers. I'm definitely seeing a lot of people being proud of you. People seeing you as someone who's independent, confident, abundant. Give me a little bit more. If you're a parent, there could be a child that feels like you're a very good, strong, stable parent. Or there could be a family member here that's appreciating you and your constant ability to fight for the connection and to stand up for them in this connection. I even see people here advocating for you. People having your back and you not even know it. So some of you, I don't know if you know this or not, but there could be people advocating for you and even taking your side behind closed doors in ways that you would never expect. These could be people making comments. So let's say that this is a family dynamic talking about you, and they make a comment about, well, you know, he or she's an idiot. That's the reason they got taken advantage of. Yeah, so-and-so cheated, but they took them back, so maybe they deserved the second cheating. This could be another family member that's going to look at them and say, you know, you keep saying that they deserve to be cheated on. They deserve to be cheated on. But I completely disagree. I feel like if anything, they showed us a different way of strength. They showed us that sometimes forgiveness is the strong thing to do. That doing what's best for everyone in the circumstance and not just what's best for us is sometimes the strong thing to do. So there could even be conversations being had where people are trying to make you the bad guy, make you the villain, kind of rip down your reputation, and there could be people that you don't even know that could be taking up for you. Well, how would you have handled that if that would have been your battle? Well, I would have. Oh, would you? Well, let's see. Put your money where your mouth is. And you might be shocked that this person's even advocating for you. Maybe this is a family member you've never been close to. Maybe this is someone that you work with that you perceive as an enemy, but you're going to find out that behind closed doors, this person's actually taking up for you and saying, listen, you guys want to sit here and judge and critique and make comments, but that person's got it together and y'all don't. So it says more about them than it does you. It says more about you than it does them. That's kind of what I'm saying here. I'm definitely seeing conversations around you and what you have going on. There's also a perceived notion that you're a lot more protective over yourself and your energy than you used to be. So people could feel like you're hard to get in touch with, or that you have the tendency to either not respond to messages, not respond to texts, not respond to phone calls. There is a little bit of energy of you being like out of reach. So I see people here advocating for you, people having your back. And I feel like if you find this out, it's going to be very healing for you. Because in a world where it's easy to believe in the negative, believe in the toxic, because that's what we see, that's what's shoved in our face so much, I think it's going to be a pleasant surprise to find out that not everyone that you think doesn't like you, can't stand you, or isn't your bestie is trying to tear you down behind closed doors. It's like it's going to give you faith in the world and who's around you. Okay, you might not be my friend, you might not even like me, but you'll take up for me behind closed doors, and I'll take that. I love that. That's what I'm saying here, okay? I'm even seeing here that someone could be recommending your name or recommending you in a room that you've never stepped in. So if you have a business partner, this business partner could be bringing your name to tables that your name would have never been brought up in. If you have a friend that has access to certain things, so let's say that you're in social media. Let's say that you are a TikTok influencer, and let's say that you and your friend do it, but your friend has maybe more followers or more access to things that you do not. That same friend could be bringing your name into those scenarios. That same friend could be saying, hey, you know who I think would be perfect for this? My friend so-and-so. And he or she does this. He or she does this on TikTok, does this on Instagram. This could also be a boss bringing your name up for some sort of recognition or some sort of an award. So if any of you have like an award system at your job where you get plaques or anything like that, your name could be getting brought up here, coming up for some sort of recognition, okay? So your name's also being brought up in rooms that you've never stepped foot in. I definitely see that there's more people for you than against you, but I also see that there's a lot of chatter around what you've done and the choices that you've made. So a lot of people could be right now kind of analyzing you. Okay, well, you decided to take a step back, buy land, put an old trailer on it, and we thought that you were crazy, but now you're building your own home. We don't think you're crazy no more. So where people used to once maybe tear down your choices, tear down your decisions, judge it, ridicule it, point at it, poke it apart, dissect it, those are the same people questioning what are you doing and how can they use your action as inspiration. So again, let's go back to the example. Your name could have recently been brought up in conversation because the way that you're approaching life. You could be doing something in your life in a different way. This doesn't have to be love. This doesn't have to be life. I'm going to take it out of I'm going to put it in the context of just life. This could be something as simple as, let's be honest, let's be real. If you go from living in an apartment to living in an RV, most people might not understand. People are probably going to call you names. Some people are going to understand. Some people are going to be your biggest critics. Some people are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. But let's say that that's the scenario here. And there was a conversation around how you're dumb. They're dumb. They're making a dumb choice. They moved from that nice apartment, from that nice home into an RV park. They said that they're going to start building their legacy, but I think they're just dumb. I think they're making bad financial choices. But what you don't know is the conversation has recently pivoted. And the reason it's pivoted is because your actions went from being something that was easily judged, ridiculed, tore down to something that is now being seen as inspiring. How did you learn that lesson? How did you get over that? How did you not let that hold you down? How is it that, yeah, we've seen this as probably the worst mistake of your life, but now you see it as one of the biggest stepping stones and stepping tools you've ever had in your life? So it's like some people could be perceiving something in your life as a pushback, as a fail, is actually not that at all. So again, if we go back to the context of you moving into an RV, you might have bought land, moved into an RV, told everybody you were going to build a home. Everybody made fun of you, said that you were crazy, said that you would not. But what I'm saying here coming up is that you could be achieving some sort of dream, and your name's going to be brought up in those same conversations where people used to once tear you down. They're now going to see you as inspiring and question, how did you do what you did, and how can I maybe follow suit, follow step? So I definitely feel like you could be going from like the villain to someone where people are kind of starting to soften towards you. You're not the bad person anymore. You're not the villain. So yeah, give me a little bit more. I definitely see you protecting your own energy. I see you protecting your home and anything in your home. So if you're in a relationship, I see you protecting that. If you have children, I see you being protective over them. If you're building something, nurturing something, growing something, I see you protecting that. I also see something in your life changing here coming up, okay? You could find out that there's a conversation about you where someone had to defend your name, and you might be shocked that your name was even brought up. So some of you might find out that you were brought up in a conversation and you might not understand why somebody was talking about you. That might be shocking for you, just so you know. Yeah, I'm seeing an energy here of something being perceived in your past as a fruitless victory. So there could be a conversation being had again. So-and-so bought a home. Now they're in an RV. That was a fruitless victory. That was a waste of money. Was it? Because you don't know their finances. Well, you know, so-and-so thought that him and Ashley was going to get married, but that was a fruitless victory. She was a 304. She was made for the streets. Was she? Because you don't know what happened in that relationship. That's what I'm saying here. There was once a conversation about your reality and what your reality is. But what is being perceived is that 9 times out of 10, people don't actually know the truth of your reality. People can say, oh, she's attached to him, she's hung up on him, she's obsessed and in love with him, but he don't care about her. Oh, he's infatuated with her, he's obsessed with her, he's in love with her, but she don't care about him. But what people don't know is what goes on behind the scenes. They don't know the late night phone calls. They don't know the random showing up at each other's houses. They don't know the conversations that they're not a part of. So it's really easy to assume that you know someone's reality when you're looking from the outside looking in, but you might not know the reality of the situation at all. An example would be, let's say that you're standing outside of someone's home and you see that they're having a conversation. You see the conversation. They're both laughing, one person's crying. When you're on the outside, you are what? You're perceiving that conversation as something where maybe they're laughing, they're having fun, and it's funny. It's lighthearted, it's all good, okay? But what you might not know is that they might be laughing because something so bad happened that one of them's crying and they're just trying to lighten the mood, and it might not be what you think it is at all. So you from the outside might perceive it as, oh my God, they're having the best time, they're laughing, they're in love, he or she's crying because they're so happy. But if you were actually in that environment and in the conversation, you might realize that they just maybe broke, I don't know, a pan, a dish that they got from their great-great-great-grandma, and the only way that they cannot snap theirs right now is to actually laugh, but they're crying because they're in a panic. But you're on the outside and you're thinking, oh no, this is the best day of their life, when actually it might be one of the worst. And that's kind of what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is at one point there was conversation around this. It's like people, either friends, acquaintances. This could be something as simple as your job would talk about you before you would walk in. And then when you would walk in, you could tell the energy would shift and you didn't know what people were talking about. You might be finding out here coming up what people are talking about. They could have been talking about the fact that you were, I don't know, trying to manipulate a boss into giving you a promotion, trying to get your way. When in reality, maybe that boss was actually trying to give you the promotion because they felt like the promotion was best for you, but others were perceiving it as you stepping on people's toes. That's kind of what I'm saying here. But I'm saying that the conversation is shifting and the conversation is now being in your favor. Okay. So what else is being said about you? That you're practical, you're logical, you're going towards a new beginning. You possibly, there's something here about you not learning a lesson. You're not wanting to leave something behind. You just won't give up. So again, there is something being perceived as, okay, I'm going to give this an example and then I'm going to stop. When I first started this business, everyone told me, you don't know what you're doing. It's going to fail. This is a waste of time. This is a dumb hobby. Baby, if negativity could rain, it would have been a thunderstorm. And I'm seeing that energy here, but with you. Sometimes in life, people think that they know our life when they don't. And what I'm saying is that there's a conversation here right now being said how you are going towards a new beginning and new things are opening up for you, but you don't want to. And sometimes people think that they know our life better than we do. So I am saying that there could be a conversation around the fact that, oh, well, you know, so-and-so broke up with him or her. Yeah, she or he doesn't want to move on. You could actively be moving on. You could even be happy in the fact that you and that person is not together. But others could be perceiving you as someone where you want that back. You crave that. You're yearning for that. You would want nothing more in life than to have that back because you've not learned the lesson. So I am seeing here an energy of like people thinking that they know what's going on in your life when they actually have no idea. And it's like people who would once maybe rain on your name or throw venom on your name are now going to be people who have your back. And people who know you are going to be a little more curious about what you got going on. There's also something here being perceived as like you being, I don't know, people are viewing you as someone who's turned secretive. And there's a question of why. Why are you secretive? And with new beginnings coming up, there's an energy here of, oh, are you secretive because there's new beginnings taking place? Yeah, something here is transforming. Yeah, so I was asking, give me the energy around the people who love you, who are talking good about you. Well, these people are saying that you're courageous and you're generous, that you're a healing person. Give me the energy around the people who are not your fan. What are they saying about you? They're saying that you need to have the strength to expand. So there's two types of people here. There's the ones who see you as strong and inspiring and courageous. And then there are the ones who see you as weak and stuck. And the ones who see you as weak and stuck are the ones who need to have the strength and the courage to get enlightened. Okay? And what does that say? Okay, so what this is saying is that the people who are talking negative about you or who think that they know your reality need to give their self the enlightenment or the realization that sometimes how you handle things are not how others would handle things. So sometimes in life, people think that they know our reality because they went through something similar. So what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes in life when people break up, they automatically assume, well, I know you're stuck on so-and-so because I would be stuck on so-and-so. That ain't the truth. That's your reality. That's your truth. But that doesn't mean that it's everybody else's truth. And what I'm saying is that the people who still feel like they know your truth, that they know, there's a sense of, I kind of want to say entitlement of them being right. Well, I know what's right, what's wrong, and I know your truth. Those people, Spirit is saying those people need to give themselves the ability to see the truth. And the truth is that they have the tendency to go towards chaos. They have chaos internally. So they always think that because that's how they live, that's how others live. So these people who feel like, well, there's no way that you're over so-and-so. There's no way that you're going to let that go. There's no way, there's no way, there's no way. Those are the same people who feel that way because that would be how their life would be. So sometimes in life, we choose what we feel comfortable with. So if you're going through a hardship in a relationship, you will either choose to go towards the chaos or you'll choose the peace. And we tend to choose what we're comfortable with. I'm saying that you would choose the peace. And sometimes choosing the peace is not easy. It's hard. It's difficult. It means doing something you don't want to do. But I am saying that people who could be talking about you right now might be projecting onto you and thinking that you always choose the chaos because that's what they would choose. So these could be people who feel like, well, you're not over that toxic ex. I know you're not. Well, they know you're not because they wouldn't be. They would still be addicted to the chaos, to the craziness, to the confusion. You're not. You're more addicted to the peace. You don't want to be right. You don't care to be right. You're not even at a place where you want what you want. You want to see why you want it and see if it's best for you. But I am saying that there could be people who aren't talking so great about you that could be projecting onto you. Now, I'm saying that if those people specifically bring your name up in conversations, they are going to be shut down by people who see you so differently. So let's say that there's a coworker around you that could say something like, I don't know, let's say something as simple as, well, you know, he or she keeps going back to so-and-so because they're infatuated with them and won't let them go, even though he or she doesn't want them. There might be people in that same room that you work with that's going to look at them and go, you need to quit projecting. That's your energy, okay? That's your energy. They can go back to who they want. That's up to them, though. Just because you don't have the courage and the strength to leave something be doesn't mean that they don't. So quit projecting. That's what I'm saying. And then when you get to work, you might hear about the fact that Sally next door was running her mouth talking about the fact that you can't get over John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith because you guys have history. That's kind of what I'm saying. And I think it's going to be a little bit of like, I'm glad people are showing me who they are, but I'm also glad that I know who's in my corner and who's got my back, because those are going to be the people I lean in more. Now, I am saying that there's going to be other people who are speaking really kindly about you. They see you as someone who's strong, who's courageous, generous. You're the kind of person where if you have a pack of 6 donuts, you're going to share those donuts. That's how people see you. But baby, let me tell you, the people who are projecting onto you, they're not your fan. And I'm saying that. Is there anything you need to know? There's going to be disappointment here coming in. External to you. And Spirit's telling you to listen to your intuition about that. You're going to find out that not everyone is who they seem to be. So there could be some people who's been nice to your face that have not been nice behind your back. And you're going to find that out here coming up. But I'm also seeing the complete opposite as well. So it's like there are going to be some people that you thought liked you that you're going to find out don't like you. They were just playing nice. They were just playing friendly. They were just playing faker to your face. But Spirit is also telling you that the complete opposite is also going to happen. There's going to be people that you felt didn't like you, that you maybe misjudged, and you're going to find out that those are the same people taking up for you behind closed doors. So let's say that you do work a 9-to-5 job, and there's a coworker that you like. You might be finding out that that coworker is not your friend, that they're actually a foe, that they were maybe talking about you here coming up. You might then find out that the person you thought was your foe actually took up for you. And that might be a little bit of because it's like, wait a second now, the person I thought I could trust, I can't. And the person I didn't think I could trust, I can. What's happening? Well, what's happening is you're being shown where disappointments lie and where happy new beginnings can begin. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And that's what Spirit is saying here, okay? Don't be scared of the future. And don't be scared of what's taking place. Just reevaluate as things unfold and ask yourself, where does this have a place in my current life? And if it doesn't, what do I need to do? So that's what I'm saying. Leave it here. Bye, guys.